Hey everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U. So, if you haven't saw part 1 yet of the Photoshop Elements organizer, then you're going to want to go ahead and do so before watching part 2 so that you can go ahead and get super acquainted with the organizer before we move on. So, if you've seen part 1, then we're going to check into these buttons up here. And so the first one I'm going to look at is Share. And so if I have a photo here highlighted, then I can choose one of these platforms to go ahead and share my photo on. So I can share it on my social media, in my email, video sites, photo sharing sites and online albums. I can choose to burn it onto one of those DVD labels on the overside of a photo DVD or a Blu-ray disc. I can do online video sharing, a cell phone, I can create a PDF, and so on. And so all I would have to do is go ahead and click on one of those and it would walk me through that. And then I have this create button over here. Now I can use this to create things, and so let's create something. So I'm going to grab just a couple of pictures here. Let's do the flowers. Let's do pictures with flowers. Okay, so I've selected just a couple of pictures, and I'm going to go down here to the photo collage. And it is going to load into my workspace, which wasn't currently open. So it's going to take it just a second. Now all of these create things are going to throw me over into Photoshop Elements as opposed to working in the organizer, because the organizer does more of the organizing and the Elements is more for the editing. And so you see here that we have this box here that pops up, and I can choose between these sizes, and I'm just going to use the smaller one for now. I'm going to click OK. And it's going to go ahead and it's going to start generating this collage for me. And it's going to work on placing my photos into my collage. So now you can see here that I have this collage sort of built, but it needs a little bit of work. So here I've got 3 empty boxes, so I have a choice. I can double click on them, and it's working really slow. There we go. I can click on it here and a box will pop up so that I can add a new photo into it, or I can just hit delete on my keyboard and we can delete that layer. So we're going to go ahead and delete all 3 of these empty boxes. So now we have our remaining photo boxes, but you can see here that, like with this one, we aren't getting her face. Her face has been completely cut out. The faces on this girl right here has been cut out, and this girl only has an arm, and this one isn't really even in the photo. So we can fix that, and so we can double click on it and we can make our photo smaller and we can move that down, and when you're happy with the placement you just click the green check mark, and we can do that for all of our pictures. You can scale it and move it. So I'm actually going to move all of these boxes themselves. I can move them and I can rotate them. And when I'm happy, I can just go ahead and put a check mark there. This is going to give me a better idea of exactly what I'm working with. And so I can see that her head is definitely chopped too. And that does not work for anyone. I'm going to move this box. Her placement looks pretty good. Now I'm going to use this one and I'm going to send it to the back here. I can go push backward, which will send it back, oops, which will send it back one, or I can click on send to back and it's going to send it behind all of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it forward once. I want it on top of this one, but I want this one to be on top of this one, so let me push this one to the back. There we go. Okay, so now I can move this photo. I'm going to straighten that up, and I think I'm going to leave that one kind of where it's at, and then I'm going to move this one over here. And then I'm going to bring this one forward. And then again, I'm going to bring that one there. So when you're happy with the way that you have it, and if you like the way that it looks, then we can go ahead and we can customize it further. So we actually have other layouts, and if we just click on this layout button down here, we can see some of our other layouts that we have the options of choosing from if you don't want to sit there and design your own. And so you have all of these collage kind of layouts. You have 1 photo layouts, 3 photo layouts, and 2 photo layouts. And to apply one, you would just click it and you could drag it over top and it would start regenerating. I'm going to leave my layout the way that it is though. So then we have backgrounds, and you can choose from these different backgrounds. And to add one, just like with the layout, I'm going to drag it and drop it. And that will change the background of my collage. I can also add different frames. And so we can scroll down through here and we see that there are tons of different frames that you can choose from. When you find one that you like, you can just drag it and you can drop it over top of your photo. And it will change the frame of just the photo that you dropped it on. And so you could give every picture a different frame if you wanted to. So you can see here that we have all kinds of different options. And lastly, we have this one. Okay, so you can add the frames, and then down here at the bottom we have graphics, and you can again add these graphics by dragging and dropping. And once they're in here, you can resize them, and you want to make sure that this constrained proportions box is checked. You can resize them bigger, you can resize them smaller, and you can rotate them. Once you're happy, you can just click the check mark, or you can move it, and that's all there is to that. And so there we are, back up here again in the backgrounds. So we have these really fun layouts. We can save our layout here, or we can close it. We also have a text tool over here, so we could add text to our layout. And if you're unfamiliar with text, you want to go ahead and watch the text video for Photoshop Elements. So when you're happy, you can decide to save it, or you can close it, or you can print your picture by clicking on this print button. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it. I'm not going to save it. So it's super easy to go ahead and use our create tools. And so you can see here that we can create photo prints, photo books, greeting cards, calendars, collages, slideshows, movies, DVDs, CD jackets, DVD jackets, and labels. And so our create menu can be extremely helpful in our design, and it's super easy to use. It's all very just helpful and simple, and that is good. Simple is good. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Happy editing!